Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Easter Box. Now, I totally appreciate this is quite late. You know, it's not like a few days late. It's a week late by the time you guys see this recording. So, certainly overdue, and as a result, maybe some of you will actually see this puzzle beforehand. I'm taking a look at the number of solves that we had. If I just do a quick refresh of that, we've had 935 people have already solved this. So, frankly, apologies for actually featuring this puzzle so late. But nevertheless, I think never too late to celebrate something. We have in here an Easter box full of goodies, which is hopefully what we're going to see today in today's puzzle. And that's probably enough of an introduction. Let's just jump right in and take a look at today's rule sets. So we have Easter Box by Katie Splendor. What a lovely surname to take a look at this almost surprise of Easter goodies in this box. Rules-wise, we've got normal Sudoku rules apply for columns, rows, and boxes. So essentially the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box without repeats. Then we have purple lines, our Renban lines. Each containing a group of consecutive digits, though neighbors do not have to be consecutive. And I kind of can't see how I can avoid sort of partially solving this by walking you through it. But essentially, they're all 8-digit. Yeah, I'm sorry if this is a bit of a... If you're familiar with the rules, maybe just skip ahead to the solve if you need to reference this. And stop the video at this point. But essentially, we've got 8-cell Renbans here that are repeating in each of these boxes. And you basically need to have 8 consecutive digits. That will be the digits 1 to 8 or the digits 2 to 9. You're going to have to figure out which one it is for each of these Renbans. That's all I'm going to say. It does say that the neighboring digits do not have to be consecutive. So this, for example, if this was a 2, that doesn't have to be 1 or 3. It absolutely could be 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever else it may be that is actually on this Renban. Then we have German whisper lines. So where each number on the line has a difference of at least 5 from its neighbors. If you imagine that this cell here was a 2, then the following digits that are neighbors would have to be 7, 8, or 9. I mean, that clearly can't be an 8 in the same column. But you end up with, high digits, low digits, high digits, low being 1, 2, 3, 4, high digits being 6, 7, 8, 9. Notice no 5 on German whisper lines. Lastly, we've got arrow rules apply. So maybe let's take this one as a start. So essentially, these two cells, let me use the wording that Katie used. The digit in the bulb, which is this cell here, is the sum of the digits along the arrow, which are these two cells here. So if you imagine that these two cells, for example, are 1 and 4, then this cell here would have to be a 5 to make sure it adds up to whatever these two digits sum up to. So that's all the rules for today. You can see a very colorful Easter box here with a lot of decoration, with the green borders, the purple corners. It's a lovely piece of work, Katie. I'm looking forward to solving this. Hopefully you are too. If you want to unwrap this Easter box with me, link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. I mean, I'm going to say just how unusual it is for us to have so many digits that are actually given in the grid. It's been so long since we've seen some. So, as I already mentioned in the rules, each of these Renbans have to be the digits 1 to 8 or 2 to 9, meaning that center digits is either a 1 or 9, and that is true for all of these boxes. And it's immediately going to be obvious which ones are 1s and which ones are 9s. Maybe not this cell, but we'll get there. This cell here, well, the sum of 2 digits is clearly not going to be 1. That is a 9. That forces this to be a 1. That forces this to be a 9. That forces this to be a 1. Same thing in here. We've already got a 2 and a 4. That is clearly not going to be a 1. That is a 9. We've got digits in under a minute. Who can complain about that? May as well continue with these arrow sums. For example, this 2 here needs to add up to a 9. This is a 7. That is a 5. That is a 4 already. That means that's a 5. We've got 1, and these 2 cells need to add up to 8. So let's just think about what the options are. I mean, I can actually technically do a double 4. It's just I've already placed the 4. So that is off the table. Presumably I could do 1, 7 this way. 2, 6 this way, because the 2 can't be in here, and obviously the 1 couldn't have been there. And then the last option that I have on the table is 3, 5, of which neither of which could actually be a 5. So it's actually quite restricted. I just didn't notice that. 7, this is all fixed. That's 2 and 6. So we're on the right track. 1 you can see now in box 5 cannot be in here because of this one. One of these is a 1. As a result, one of these is an 8. Whichever one of these is an 8 means there are no 8s in here. So there is an 8 in these 2 cells. May as well just keep going with box 5 because we've essentially got 1. I mean, I'm going to fully pencil mark this, so I'm going to go all the way. This is 1, 8. We still need, I think, 3 and 7. I'm going to say they could be anywhere. Let's just think about this. Whichever one is a 3 of these, there would have to be a 6. That looks fine to me. And if it's a 7 in either of these, they would have to be 2. So the only place that 7 couldn't be is, this cell, because that would have to be a 2. In fact, this line, whatever it is not 2, 7, because neither of which could actually be in this cell. It could be, I think, 6, 3. So that could be a 6, that could be a 3, because, I mean, the 6 couldn't be in here. So that's one possibility. Then I think we basically have... Sorry, I'm not thinking out loud, and I should be. Just trying to think, what are the restrictions on here? Can I put 2 and 7? I think the answer to that is yes. That can't be the 2, so that would be the 2, that would be the 7. I could also do 3, 6. That 3 tells me that's not a 3. That would be a 3, that would be a 6. So that's possible. And then lastly, I have 3, 7 available, but not the 1. Not quite as helpful as I was hoping. At least it's a complete set of pencil marks. Right, let's move on to German whisper lines for a second. We know that all of these now are high. We're actually given this for a change. All of these are high, therefore all of these are low. This is not a 1, but it could be 2 or 3. Can't be a 4, otherwise it would need to be a double 9. Minimum of 2 means that this is a minimum of 7, and therefore 7 or 8, not 9. I may as well corner pencil mark this because of this 1. We know that one of these is a 1. That is not a 1. This is 2 or 3. It's a maximum of 3 because I have an 8 in here. Obviously, I couldn't have done the double 9 thing anyway. This is therefore 7 or 9. I mean, Sleuth, pay attention. I'm just so not used to having digits on the grid. That's not an 8. That's the 8. I guess 8 is in one of 3 cells. We'll come back to that. We're done with this German whisper line for now. Yeah, it feels like we're done for now. Can I do anything with these German whisper lines? Yes, probably this one. Probably. Just let me think about this for a second. So it's not 6, 8, or 9. This could be a 7. That would force these to be 1 and 2. It's very tight. This 2 would be a 2 in here. This would be a 1. If that's a 1, where would 1 go in box 1? Be forced on this cell. So for the moment, that looks possible. Let me just think about this. No 1s. There would be a 1 in here. I mean, it really does look entirely achievable. So I don't know if I want to pencil mark these. It just looks like there is lots of options left on the table. This German whisper line. Have I really got everything that I can from these arrow sums? Maybe this arrow sum I should be thinking about. So this is not a 1-8 for sure. Not 2-7, because neither of these could be a 2-7. It could be 3-6, specifically in this order, 6-3, and then it could be 4-5. So still quite a few options left on the table. It's not obvious what are some of the next steps, if I'm honest. Maybe it is for some of you, and you're already screaming at, shouting at the screen saying, Sleuth, just pay attention, please. So I'm a little bit distracted by this setup. I'm just trying to think through, is it forcing something in here with this cell? Imagine it's a 3 for a second. That would make this a 1. That would make this a 7. That would make this a 2. Okay, so 3 works. 2 in here would make this 6 or 8. And then we'd end up with a 6 or 8, and then 1 or 3, presumably, yeah. And that will be difficult to disambiguate, but probably not impossible horizontally. So I'm not sure, actually. What about these cells? Could this be high? It's not a 9. Right, I am going to do this the exhaustive way. This is 2, 3, or 7. It actually gives me a triplet. This becomes a 4, 5. That actually helps me with the 4, 5 and this arrow that we've already penciled on. That removes the 4, 5, otherwise we'd have broken this cell. So this is 3, 6. That removes 3 off the table in here. Doesn't help me resolve these, but progress, I'll take it. 7 and 2 are both still options. 7, if you remember, was very, very specific with 2 in here and 1 in there. And 2, well, I guess 6 was always off the table. Would put 7, 8, and 9 in here. Yeah, I don't really want to pencil mark this just yet. Can I do better? No, not yet. The 4, 5, the second one would be in here as well for this side. Okay, right. Classic Sudoku. Whenever you get stuck, Sleuth, that is usually the next step. 9s, 9s, not a 9. None of these are 9. Where does 9 go in box 3? That's a 9. One of these two is a 9. Let's see if we can keep this going. 9 of these are 9. One of these two is a 9. 9 and 2, very possible. 9 in here is one of 3 cells, unfortunately. Okay. 8s, I did say I'll come back to it and then ignored it. In fact, that 6 is looking at this cell. That is an 8, therefore that is a 1. That's not a 1. This is 3 or 7, which means this is 2 or 6. That's not an 8. We've got sort of a virtual 2, 3 in here. Right, that is a high digit. And I know this because it can't be 1, 2, or 3. Like I said, we have essentially a 2, 3 pair between this. If this is 2 and 7, that would be 3. If this is 6 and 3, that would be 2, meaning this is not 2 or 3 or 1. If it's low, it would be a 4 with a double 9 around it. Frankly, impossible for many reasons. That is a high digit, and it's not 9 or 8, and it can't be a 6 with a double 1. This is 7 with 1, 2 pair around it. I don't actually even need to pencil mark that. That 2 tells me that's a 2. That's a 1. 1 now in box 8. Well, we've got all of these ones, eliminating all of, I picked the wrong one. These cells, that's the only place for a 1. So we've got a 7 here now. That actually helps. That's a 3. That's a 6. That's 2. We're back to the 4, 5 pairs. Interesting, they keep showing up. 2 means that 7 is unfortunately on the table, but 3 gives me a 7 in here, gives me a 2 there, gives me a 3 there. We now know that these 2 are high. Am I going to color? I don't really need it. This is from 7, 8, 9. This cell here can't be a 9. I did say we can't have 4, 5 in here. That is the second 4, 5. And then to complete this section, I need a 1. Where does 1 go? Well, it can't be this cell. That's the 1. Therefore, that's the 9. This is now 7 or 8. I've got a 7-8 pair now in row 6. To complete this row, I need 2 and 6. That 2 gives me the order. That's 2, that's 6. I need 4, 5, and 7, 8 in here. Not too many restrictions about it just yet. In fact, 3, Sleuth, gives me 8, gives me a 7, gives me an 8. Obviously can't have a 7 next to a 3. It's not 5 or more away. That does make this a bit easier. This is 7, 4, or 5 with a definite 7. This is not a 5. Hopefully that will help us disambiguate it later. Right, feeling a bit more confident now about the solve. Let's see if we can keep this going. 8, fairly restricted between these two cells. 8, fairly restricted again between these two cells. I'm going to corner pencil mark them for now. There's a weird X-wing shaped here in there. Can I do a bit better? Yes, I can actually place a 2 in column 2. 2 is not here, not there. Where is 2? And obviously not there because that's 4 or 5. That's a 2, that's an 8. That's not an 8, that is an 8. Right. We need another 4, 5 in this column plus a 8. That can't be an 8 for a couple of reasons. That is the 8. That's another 4, 5. Right, progress. We'll keep it coming. 8s now. Yes, we can finish all the 8s. That's 8s done. Can I finish the 9s yet? Yes. 9 is in one of 2 cells in here. Therefore, that's not a 9. Probably, actually, yeah. That is the only place for a 9. Therefore, that is a 7. That is the 9. We'll just keep this going. 1 is in here. Don't know. 4, 7, and what else do I need? A 3. Not resolved yet. This is 3, 4, 5. Not resolved. This is 3 or 4 because of the 5 in the column. This is 3 or 5 because of the 4 in the column. 3 or 5 again in here. What is this cell? Do we know it? We need a 3, 4, and 6. The 6 has to be in here, doesn't it? To complete this. And then this is 3 or 4. Okay. 1 in this row, where can it be? Well, it's not these 2 cells. That's a 1. We now need 3, 4, and 5 in here with a definite 5, and that is not a 3. Okay, not enough. This is a very stubborn Easter box. That's all I can say about it. There's another 4, 5 in here, plus a 3 again. Don't know. Oh, hang on, not a 3, excuse me. A 2. That's a 2. This is 4 or 5. We need another 4, 5 somewhere in here, plus a 3. So all I can do is 3, 4, 5 with a 3. I mean, it gives me a triplet. I should be able to write in whatever this is. That's a 7. I need another 3, 4, 5 in here, plus a 6. Don't know where it is. Like I said, quite stubborn, actually. Am I missing something about the 4, 5 somewhere? Am I just Sudoku blindness striking again? I've done all the arrows, so it is just classic Sudoku. We've used all we can from the Renbans. So yeah, just classic Sudoku. Keep it going. We have another 4, 5 in here, plus I'm going to say 6 and 7. I know 7s keep coming up. We've got to do something about 7s. Right, that's 7 sorted. This is a 7. That's a 4. Therefore, that's a 7. That's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 5. That's a 5. That's a 4. Therefore, this is a 3, 5 pair. 4 is not in here. In fact, what is left? I need 4, 6, and 7. Ironically, oh, hang on, 4 and 7 are on this row. That is a 6. That's a 4 because it can't be a 7. That is a 7. I can complete this row now. It's a 5, not a 5. A 4. That's a 5. That's not a 5. The 3-4 pair are still not resolved. Have my 4-5s done anything? No. So there's another 3-4 in here that's going to help us unwind all of this. 3-4-5 means that's a 2. These two cells are from 6 and 1. That can't be the 1. That's the 1. That's the 6. That's another 3-4. It is not a 4. That's a 3. That's a 4. Right. We're unwind. Hang on. Premature. In this column, I need 3-4 and... I'm sorry, sometimes it takes me a long time to scan. That's a 6. That's a 3. We're done. Yeah. That's 3. That's 4. That's 3. That's 5. That's 4. That's 3. That's 5. 5. 3. And if I've not made any mistakes, 4 for the finish. Lovely puzzle, Katie. It's a lovely Easter box to unwrap for sure. Really interesting construction. You see, I tend to struggle, kind of certainly a fault of mine, that I focus so much on the variants, I tend to forget doing some classic Sudoku. I think the given digits are almost tipping you off that you should be thinking about this. And once I sort of got onto it, it really started to unfold very quickly. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle, maybe the video as well, and the solve. I'm going to say this was very much about arrow sums to kind of get you going. So take a look at the arrow sum playlist I'm going to recommend next. And see you for the next video. Bye-bye for now.